You get to sit in between two families and you're just like, life just changed, the cycle just changed, and you're talking two wonderful young men who will take advantage of this opportunity, this fame, this wealth, and I think they're going to be good citizens. That's what they are. They're just good kids.
Welcome into the weekend Sports Buzz here on 1450 AM. Got a good little show lined up for you guys today. Starting off, myself, Tyler Boyd, as always. John Hancock's in the building. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing well. Mark Blankenbaker is out of the building. He's at a wedding, I do believe, this morning. He's got some prior plans. It's okay. Me and John can hold it down. We're used to it.
Absolutely.
Actually, I kind of enjoy it, just being me and you in here.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Kind of nice. We're not as cramped. In here in the 1450 studio. Anyways, get on the website, 1450tosportsbuzz.com. We're live streaming on there. You can check it out. Also on ihi.com/KentuckySports. You can check us out. We got great video, great information on there throughout the the state, UK, U of L, high school news. We're going to be getting into that this upcoming fall, I do believe, and spring. We're all excited about that. And, of course, our website, KentuckySports.co. You hear down in the promos throughout the day. It's a great website. Just taking off here slowly, fastly, whatever you want to say. But we appreciate everybody getting on there and checking it out. Moving on, obviously, you heard in Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, John 1-2. First time in NBA history that this has happened. One of my friends actually was tweeting me. He's like, oh, it happened in 1996. Well, no, it didn't, because that was Allen Iverson and followed by UMass's Marcus Camby. So out in Georgetown, no, it never happened. It's a first, obvious, and also 6 guys going in one NBA draft. John is also a first. Did you? I know obviously you're a Louisville fan, but it's cool regardless of the Jersey team. Like North Carolina, they had 4 guys go. I think it's cool. I don't care what team has that many.
It was an impressive draft. A lot of players that I didn't think would make it in made it in. But yes, I mean, it's 6 players. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with Kentucky putting in 6 players in the NBA draft.
Oh, yeah. they had a very, very talented team, obviously. Darius Miller, well-deserved. He went in the second round, 46th pick, going to Charlotte to play with Anthony Davis, who was obviously the overall number 1 pick. The number 2 pick, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, going to the Charlotte Bobcats. There's been speculation, I guess, for the past few weeks, who will they be taking for that number 2 pick? Nobody knew. Usually in past drafts, you get the feeling of where people are going, but this one was different, which it made me want to watch it more. We were at the BJ Sports Pub for the Jimmy Valiant appearance. Our softball game, so I had to DVR it, but I went back and watched it, and it was a fun draft to me. Did you catch it?
I watched some of it. But the rest I just followed here.
Yeah.
See
the second round's fast.
Yeah.
An hour 15, it's over in the second round. They're just floating through picks. But, of course, you got Gilchrist too. Terrence Jones, he went number 3, just outside the lottery with the 18th pick to the Houston Rockets. Marcus Teague, 29th to the Bulls. Now, I kind of thought Lamb might be going to there.
Yeah, Lamb, what was he, the 42nd pick?
42nd to the Bucks. He can now don number 20 and be the next Ray Allen. That's I saw that pick coming up, and I looked at who do they have? No shooters. Who do they have off their bench? Nobody. They have one number 1 pick that nobody can name. Can you name who their number 1 pick is?
No.
Andrew Bogut.
Okay.
Exactly. We had that last week little trivia question, and Andrew Bogut was one of the last 10 years he was a number 1 pick nobody can name. And then Marcus Teague, Doran Lamb 42nd, and Darius Miller 46th. It's another fun draft night. What stood out to you, John, for this draft? Maybe a sleeper, a bust you're going to call out, somebody in the second round that you liked?
Well, I was impressed. I think this says it was the Cavs. I think it was actually the Mavericks, if I'm not mistaken. But they had the Jay Crowder and Bernard James were picked.
I'm glad Bernard James went. I was actually probably 10 or so picks before that. I was like, where's Bernard James? He's the most deserving man at the draft. He went 3 tours to Iraq, and so he's going to – he got drafted by the Cavs, right? But he's going to Dallas.
I think that's right.
Or was it the opposite? I'm pretty sure that's right.
I'm not sure. Something like that. But either way, that's two great picks.
Yeah, Jay Crowder's an excellent player from Marquette. He's like a Kenneth Faried. They look alike and they play alike.
Yeah.
So I like those as well. I thought the Pacers had the worst pick in the first round. I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, look, they said that about UConn's Hashim to beat when they took him, and look, he turned out to be very well." They did the same about Danny Granger. Turned out to be a stud. I kind of knew Danny Granger was good as well. But John, would you have ever took Miles Plumlee with the 26th pick of the NBA draft when you have a lot of people behind him, Perry Jones, Arnett Moultrie, Bernard James, Jay Crowder, Draymond Green? You got all these guys down there that are big guys you could have took.
Yeah, well, there's several picks like that, in my opinion. I mean, look, Magic gets, an opportunity to maybe get a player that can replace, well, maybe not replace, but be with Dwight Howard, maybe to get Dwight Howard to stay. And who'd they get? Andrew Nicholson. From St. Bonaventure.
You're obviously the Magic fan, John. Are you disappointed in your team's draft picks?
Well, for some reason, they don't know how to draft.
They drafted Dwight, but that was kind of a falling into their lap type of thing when that came.
I mean,
they drafted Shaq, but it was the same issue.
That was a long time ago. They drafted Penny Hardaway, but that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, Dave. I'm sure they don't have the same front office. I'm sure that now as they did then.
Absolutely not.
But I thought the Rockets. I thought they had the best draft. They had not because Terrence Jones is in there, but yes, he's one of the key addition to it. But they also got Jeremy Lamb. I know that you aren't high on Jeremy Lamb, and they also got Royce White. I think Royce White could turn out to be one of the best players of this whole draft. Nobody else could disagree with me, I would assume. But Jeremy Lamb, do you like their picks? Why don't you like Jeremy Lamb?
I just think he just wasn't as good, maybe, as he was his freshman year. I think he had more people around him his freshman year, and he had to try to take over, and I just didn't see him do that, personally.
Because you mentioned they had Kemba Walker when they went on to win the championship. Shabazz Napier was playing well as a freshman too. I see you're doing. I'm trying to.
I just don't think he's the 12th best, in my opinion. I wasn't at the NBA.
But then again, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, diehard Kentucky fan. I know he's not the second best player in this draft today.
But he has a lot of potential. His body's NBA ready. He definitely has to work on certain elements of his game, but he's got a lot of potential.
Now we'll go ahead and. I got Jeremy Lamb's stats right here. Thank goodness we got all of these players right in front of us. Jeremy Lamb, as a freshman, John, only averaged 11 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. Sophomore year, 17 points, over 1 assist, more than last season. And,
but how many shots did he shoot? He shot.
Field goal percentage, freshman year, 48%. Sophomore year, 47%. Shooting, let's see, field goals. It's not showing. There we go. He only had less than 100 shots this year to his freshman year.
Plus, he showed that he couldn't be the leader and win, though. Yeah, he made that point.
Yeah,
but he didn't lead the team to victory.
UConn had how many people go in the first round? 3? Yeah, you had Jeremy Lamb, Andre Drummond, and
but I don't think Andre Drummond. I think that's the biggest sham of the whole draft. 9th. When he didn't, I just don't think he's the 9th best player.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people in here. The Celtics, they took Fab Melo. I don't think he should have even went in the draft. I know he's all about potential. I know this. I'm not dumb. And he was a great shot blocker and whatnot for when he came off. But he's just not. I don't see him being a worker, John. Do you?
I just don't see it. I mean, last year everybody was saying how great he was. I just didn't see it.
Let's go to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline. I know this is not gonna be talking NBA, but it's fine because I want to get my man in here. He's on location at Kentucky Speedway, I do believe. Carolina Steve.
I'm actually not at the Speedway today.
Well,
I'm not. After yesterday, I think I'm too old to go back in the heat.
Oh yeah, you were there yesterday. I saw your pictures. Give us a little update. How was the day in general, and what was the heat like?
Well, it was like 103 degrees until we had that little bit of a windstorm there.
Uh-huh.
And the track was 143, and the temperature dropped on the track to 103, and it dropped to like 75, 79 in air temperature. But that wind, they thought it was going to be a tornado because, Cincinnati got blasted by a storm yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I know the congressional tournament is the golf tournament, which is up in the, the northern area, is actually canceled today. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, anyway, they started putting people. I was down in the infield and had been over watching nationwide qualifying, and then they were getting ready to qualify the Cup cars, and it came up, and they took us down. There's an escalator underneath the track that'll take you from the stands to the infield, and they were putting people in those tunnels. And as a matter of fact, while I was sitting there in a chair, Jamie McMurray went down into the tunnel. That's the driver of the number one McDonald's Bass Pro Chevrolet car. And I talked to a guy that was with him down there, and one reason he went down there is his hometown of Joplin, Missouri got hit real hard by tornadoes a couple of years ago.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I do remember when those tornadoes came through. Now, I see you have a picture on your Facebook page. It looks like you're maybe in the Kyle Busch or Kyle one of the Kyle's garage area.
That was Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he's my favorite driver, and he went out last and 5-time won the pole, and that's Jimmy Johnson, and he did start second, but he was. I was able to get that picture from pit row. I really enjoyed it. Then let me tell you something. Austin Dillon stunk up the Nationwide show.
Who won the Nationwide?
Austin Dillon, he led 192 out of 200 laps.
Wow. That's very impressive.
But here is the kicker. Coming back last night, I have satellite radio, and I was listening to the NASCAR channel, of course. And, the NASCAR official come in after Austin and his granddad had been on the radio. The car was found to be illegal.
Oh, really? So some restrictor plates issues, maybe?
No, it has to do, and this is something that is a problem with a lot of the teams. It was too low in the back.
Ah. That's odd. See, that's the. I know. We know a little bit about NASCAR. I don't know all those type of rules. I don't know the in detail type rules. Now, let me ask you one more question before we get to this break, Carolina. The race that is today, Quaker State 400. Who's going to win? You obviously chose Junior to win 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago on our show. I need another one.
Kyle Busch.
Going for Kyle Busch. So you're going with a back-to-back champion, and he's going to be 5-0 at the racetrack.
Well, here's something else, too. I heard a statistic that amazed me. In all the races that he's run there, which is ARCA and at the time the Busch and with the race last year, he's led like 44% of the laps that he's run. So that's a good starting point right there. Well, y'all have a good. Enjoyed meeting you and Matt down at BJ's. Those pictures y'all took were great and everything, and I advise everybody out there, call in, listen to the show. This is a bunch of great guys doing this thing right here.
Carolina, we saw you at the BJ Sports Pub for Jimmy Valiant. It was a great time. I know you had a good time. We appreciate you listening. You're our favorite guy out there, Carolina. Have a good one this weekend, and go Kyle Busch.
Yep.
There we go, Carolina, our man. It's
a big day for him. He's excited.
It's a big day. He's obviously, it's not the biggest day for the NASCAR tour or in the circuit, but it's here in Kentucky.
Yeah, well, Kentucky still has a lot of untapped, NASCAR potential. So
yes, it's they upgraded that's what I want to ask you. I wanted to ask him how the upgrades were. The new 20-lane roads, whatever they did up there, the new parking. I'm sure it's go much better. I haven't drove up Cincinnati.
Did he say 140?
140 degrees on the track temperature. Now imagine, John, being a driver, going 140 degrees. In your car, you probably go 150.
Do they have air conditioning?
No air conditioning. That's just extra weight. They don't even have lights. They paint lights on. If you didn't know that. No, yeah, it's crazy, man. I was outside yesterday. I was about to pass out 105, not in a car, not in a flame retardant suit. It's crazy. Matt's making us go to break. Let's go ahead and do that. Good opening segment to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Check us out, 1450sportsbuzz.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz.
And I dedicated this fight. I wasn't going to fight. I dedicated this fight to him. I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
birthday, Mike Tyson.
Happy birthday, Mike.
5 years old.
You know, John, I was listening real off that great speech there he did, obviously, to Lennox. It was Lennox Lewis, right?
Something like
Vander Holyfield. He's good. Maybe instead of this whatever stage act he's about to start doing, Broadway, he should start writing poems like whatever that movie was with Adam Sandler. He's writing, holiday cards and whatnot. He's good.
I saw him on ESPN talking about his Broadway show.
What did he say? I haven't seen. What did he try to say?
It's gonna be. It sounds like it's gonna be a very interesting show. He's just gonna talk about his life.
What channel is it on? I forgot already. Comedy Central? No. I can't remember. I saw the previews for it for the first time the other night, and I was very excited.
I'm sure a lot of people will go watch him.
Oh, he's going to get a lot of viewers for at least the first week or two. And then once he runs out of stuff to say. I
have a hard... I don't think he has...
He's probably got a lot to say,
He's got a lot to say.
He's got plenty of stories to tell you.
He's lived a long 45 years.
I watched him on The Burn. Not the roast of Charlie Sheen. And he came on, and it was just awful. But happy birthday, Iron Mike. I'm excited it's your birthday.
Yeah, give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line, 502-384-1450. Talk about NASCAR, the draft, whatever you want to talk about.
Anything.
Give us a call.
Anything. UK, U of L, IU. We're here in Jeffersonville, IU. Truth, you're listening, probably still in Evansville. We know you're there. John, I want to get back on the draft real quick. Because obviously we were talking about that first segment before Carolina gave us a good little Quaker State update. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. He obviously, when we start with Anthony Davis, obviously number one pick, him and Darius Miller, they're both at the Hornets. How do you think those two will fare? They have Austin Rivers as the 10th pick joining them. A couple years, is this a team to watch out for with a few more guys? As Anthony Davis a true NBA guy down the road? I've seen people say, he's too small body-wise. No, I don't think so. Is Darius Miller a guy that could stick around in the league for a few years?
It's hard to say. I think there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to Darius Miller. That's why he was picked as low as he was, because he didn't, as far as I've read, he did not impress in NBA combines. I think the only reason maybe that he got picked, he's got John Calipari selling for him, and he has a national championship. So I think those helped him because he did not do well in NBA
4-year guy, he knows his role. Obviously, he started for 3 years and then decided, no, I'm not starting this year. He took it fine, came off the bench. I think he's a good pickup. Like you said, his workouts. I don't think he's typically probably isn't the best workout type of guy. He's not. He's athletic. He's very athletic. But he's not the workout guy, I believe. I need to be in the game, in the action, to show what I can really do. But, I'm excited for him to be there. In my opinion, Anthony Davis will be the next type of Tim Duncan. That's maybe not his game, a different type of big guy, but I think he is the real deal. I don't see if anybody can disagree with me. 384-1450. And then you move on, John. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Is he the key to the Bobcats change? Maybe the 10th win next year. Is he said it after the draft. I'm ready to be this team's leader. Well, you better be, because you're the only guy that anybody knows other than Kemba Walker, and he doesn't even play. What do you think about Gilchrist to the Bobcats and Jordan drafting him?
Well, I was actually. I think a lot of people were surprised because a lot of people thought that he would go 4th, or maybe to the Wizards, but. Everything that I read said that he was going to go 4th. Yeah,
that's what I was seeing too, which I would have loved to see him go to the Wizards with John Wall. Obviously, that didn't happen. The Wizards did end up picking
Bradley Beal.
It's a great pick, from Florida. One of the most athletic guards, if not the most athletic overall, combo type guard. He's a great shooter. And on that, John, before I get on to the other guys, how about the SEC? The most awful conference out there. Lead in the drafting picks, record in the first round of picks. Maybe it's not as bad as people think. Maybe they just don't play well as a team. Some talent out there just not blending together. Who knows?
I don't know why NBA teams. Most people didn't project Bradley Beal to be picked 3rd, so I don't know why teams picked the ones they did. Other than maybe Anthony Davis. you see why he was picked first, but
Obviously.
you don't really know why teams pick the player.
This year's draft, you're right. You haven't said it, but you're right. It's very open. What's the difference between 2 and 15? Nothing much. Honestly, nothing much. Motor, maybe. Attitudes. That's maybe about it. Gilchrist, he's 18, 17 still, and he's got the best attitude out of all of them. It just varies. It's odd. I was excited for the SEC just because they get all the bad banter, but I'm not getting on that. I don't honestly care if they had no other SEC draft picks, as long as UK got theirs. I'm more excited for all these guys for for Marcus Teague. He got a great opportunity with the Bulls. Obviously, Derrick Rose injured. He's injured for a while. It's going to be a little extended injury, it seems to be. Maybe a little more injury to need than they assumed. Maybe Marcus Teague could coming in. Could he be a starter for a potential playoff team? Who else do the Bulls have?
Can they make the playoffs? I don't know. Can they make the playoffs with him at the helm? I don't.
I don't think they could make the playoffs with him at the helm. No, I think they could ride it out for maybe a month or so if they had to. If this would pull up, here we go. We got the Bulls roster in front of me. They have. Let's see here, John. I know that obviously Derrick Rose was the guy. You don't know much after him.
Noah.
It's like who's Tom Brady's backup, right?
Right.
Point guard. Marcus Teague, C.J. Watson. I guess he's going to be the guy at day one. There's no other point guard on this team. They have Rip Hamilton, Ronnie Brewer. Those aren't point guards. I guess Rip Hamilton could attempt to run the point. I'm not sure, but I guess it's going to be C.J. Watson. But Tennessee, C.J. Watson, I don't know. It's going to be up in the air. I guess it's whoever works hard and whoever busts ass to get it.
Yeah, Teague has a lot to prove, in my opinion, but
he's 19.
Yeah,
C.J. Watson's 28. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. 19. I'm looking at the roster, and there's nobody. Everybody else is mid-20s or above. Young kid. I was sitting in the house watching draft. My roommate. We were hoping he was going to go to Atlanta when they had the pick with John Jenkins, just because the T combo. You couldn't get any better than that, John. Right? You would be a big fan.
Huge. as much of a fan as I am of the NBA.
John, you hate the NBA, kind of, don't you?
I don't know. They just
you're
always,
off and on. It's off and on.
Well, you're talking about stopping playing for a couple cents. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is ridiculous.
And they're going to do it again in a couple years.
They are definitely going to do it again. But I'm looking down the draft board here. Damian Lillard, 6. A lot of people maybe not heard his name, but he was one of the. He was up for Player of the Year. He was in that list. Thomas Robinson to the Kings. Him and DeMarcus Cousins down low. I'm a Kings fan. I'm a Francisco Garcia guy. They have him. They have Chuck Hayes.
I don't know if Garcia is going to play for the Kings next year.
Is he free agency maybe, or is he hurt?
No, he's not hurt. He was drafted by the Dominican Republic league.
Really?
But a lot of players get drafted. It doesn't mean they're actually in it. But
very true.
He was like the third pick.
I just know that Cousins and Thomas Robinson down low. That's a physical force right there. Good pick for them for sure. Second round, John. Give me one guy who is your steal in the second round, or that's going to make a name for himself, even if he's already a known guy. Robbie Hummel went third to last in the draft. I'm not saying he is that guy. I'm so glad that he went though. 3 knee surgeries, came back for Purdue. Very glad he went. I was looking at this. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. It's a tough choice. I like Jay Crowder, like you said. I'm going to go with the first pick, though, of the second round with the Bobcats. Jeffrey Taylor from Vanderbilt. I've always liked him.
Yeah, he's a smart player. Doesn't make many mistakes, can shoot the lights out.
Yeah, he's obviously smart. He went to Vanderbilt. They had 4 guys drafted. Festus Zell was in the mix as well. Yep. How about that? 4 guys from Vanderbilt, and they just awful in tournament again. Kevin Stallings just cannot get it done in the tournament, John. I don't know what's going on. Not that I care. It's fine with me. But let's see. A few more minutes, 5 more minutes before this break. 3 at 4, 14:50. 2013, John. We got 2 mock drafts that have already came out. the day after the
Actually,
draft.
there was like 15.
Yeah, I'm sure there's 100 actually. There's a few to hit on. I guess CBS and ESPN's.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
I mean, DraftExpress.com, they got a lot right this year. If you go on Kentucky Sports Co., I have Jeff Goodman and DraftExpress.com's picks for next year. But yeah, I mean, it's all projection. You don't know. I mean, a lot of these players for freshmen, you don't know how they're gonna be in college. Sometimes they're flops. It's just, or sometimes they get injured.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Sometimes they decide to stay.
Then look at Josh Selby. He came into Kansas last season as the man. He was supposed to be the guy, and he didn't even get off the bench. I know he had to sit out a few games due to basically cheating, and they let him play. But he came in and didn't do much, which was odd to me. I don't really care though. But this list, a couple of Louisville guys, Louisville people, excited. Get excited! You're going to finally participate in the NBA draft for the first time in a few years. Gorgie Zhang, Wayne Blackshear, Peyton Siva, all according to Draft Express, will be picked, and according to Goodman and CBS, Zhang and Blackshear will be picked. So at least 2 or 3. I see Siva going.
I see Siva going. I knowing Gorgie Zhang's situation, he wants to graduate college. His dad wants him to graduate college. So
did he have no credits coming in or anything? Or he's just straight freshman.
Yeah, I mean he had a lot of. It's kind of hard to transfer credits from Senegal.
I just didn't know. A lot of people could graduate as juniors, as all these summer classes and winter break classes.
I mean that. Of course, there's that, and the dude's a genius.
Yes, exactly.
So, but he definitely wants to graduate. So he's gonna. If he can't graduate this year, then I don't see him going to the NBA.
Yeah,
his situation is just different.
It may be, which is fine. Everybody's different. I'm about it. I know, Kentucky fan. It's fine if you want to get your degree. That's awesome. If you stick around for 4 years, get your degree, have a college career. It's all about it. If you can go to the NBA, you're going to have a hell of a life after it. If you don't, you're still going to have a great life after it. You got a degree at a top program. And then obviously Kentucky, they have Nerlens Noel, Alex Poyster, Archie Goodwin, and Ryan Harrell all being drafted. Nothing new. They have Nerlens going in top.
I find it interesting. I mean, I know Harrell's going to be a good point guard. I just find it interesting because if he was at NC State, when he was at NC State, he would not be projected.
I would like to go back to his draft class, though, his board of when John Wall went 1, and to see if he was projected. That'd be the only true test, I believe. Or maybe not to John Wall, the Brandon Knight year. The Brandon Knight year. See if he was projected. I don't know if I'll look at that during our break coming up here. See if I can pull it up. But I think I'm big on Ryan Harrell. I've been big on him since he came to UK. I always thought he was a good player for NC State.
I'm just saying that he would not be projected at all if he was still at NC State.
Let me ask you
this:
this:
projected
what if he's
because
at Louisville?
he's at UK.
Where would he be at Louisville? Would he be above Siva? He's above. I guess so. He's already above Siva.
But he wouldn't be if he was at Louisville. He would not be projected.
Why? I think he would be. He's a top guard in the country next year. One of the top guards in the country next year. I mean, Calipari's got his streak extended this year.
He wouldn't be projected if he was with any other team.
You might be right. I don't know. Let's get to our break. Next segment, I guess, Dan Walken. I don't know. We'll get to break. We'll figure it out. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Tyler Boyd and John Hancock.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Myself, Tyler Boyd, with John Hancock. Every Saturday, of course, 9/11. Check us out, 1450thesportsbuzz.com. Good stuff going on there. Thanks to producer Matt McCarthy for making that website. And let's see, we're going to jump to the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line. Go ahead and get our man on the line, Dan Wolken from FoxSports.com and The Daily. How are you doing this morning?
I'm all right. How are you?
We're doing great, Dan. We're doing great. Let's get to it, Dan. A lot of Louisville fans weren't that excited about your tweets about a week and a half ago. I know the situation's a little different now, but it seems that Louisville's getting a lot of transfers, and I just want to know from the outside, it doesn't look good, right?
No, well, exactly. I mean, look, there's a huge issue in college sports right now with multi-year scholarships, and a lot of coaches are against it because they like roster flexibility. If a guy is not performing or isn't as good as they thought he was going to be or gets hurt or whatever, and they have a chance to go bring in a guy who's better, they create room by running a kid off. And this happens over and over again across the country. And and I think it's kind of led to this push for student athletes to have more guaranteed rights in this process, and multi-year scholarships is one of the things that I think that a lot of people really believe the NCAA should go to, and the fact is Louisville has had this weird situation for a couple of years where they've oversigned their roster, and it's really the only program that I can think of that's a major program that's had this situation where they've had 13, 14, 15 guys, and then they take guys off scholarship and make them quote unquote walk-ons, and then they keep bringing in other guys, and I just at some point for me looking at it from the outside, it's like enough's enough, dude. You've got your guys, and you need to manage your roster. You do it once, fine, but 3 times in a year to run guys off so you can bring in some other kid is a little bit it's a little bit disturbing.
Yeah, it seems to be an epidemic though in college basketball, especially of transfers. I think I read somewhere where it's like 50 or 60% of seniors aren't with their original team that they signed with their freshman year. I mean, the list for transfers is crazy. But it seems a lot of times that it's the players that want to leave, maybe not the coach pushing them out.
Well, look, I mean, yeah, sometimes players do want to leave, and you had over 400 scholarships or 400 scholarship players transferred this summer. A lot of those are definitely due to players, getting to campus and not being happy, and we do have a very large epidemic going on right now of guys who they leave at the first sign of trouble. But however, that's their right to do that, and for the same reason that if I get a job, I don't like my job, I can change jobs. Coaches the same thing, and really the only people in the world who are not allowed to change their situation without harassing circumstances are college athletes, and that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But also you have to recognize that even when I've been in situations where I've covered coaches and covered players who were leaving, and they call it a mutual thing, or they say it was the player, but coaches have a very powerful way of suggesting to guys that they need to find another school to go to.
Yeah, Dan, I'm the big UK fan here. John is the big U of L fan. I'm looking at it as Kentucky had Stacey Poole. He transferred out mid-season. I believe it was his choice. His dad wanted him to kind of get out of there and whatnot. And then I look at this. You have Jared Swapshire, Stephen Van Treese. Obviously, Van Treese is now coming back to Louisville. And then Rakeem Buckles is going down to Florida International. They said this is their choice, but in my honest opinion, I think it was Swapshire's choice to leave, but the other two were forced out by Pitino due to Montrezl Harrell coming in, and then the point guard Terry Rozier is coming as well now that he possibly is eligible. I do believe they were pushed out, and then once Buckles decided to leave, Van Treese coming back. I mean, that right there just shows that he got kicked out. He had to have.
Well, coach can bring in a kid to his office and say, "Hey, we love you. We recruited you. We gave you a scholarship. I'm not gonna take your scholarship away, but just understand that next year you're going to be our 13th guy. And look at last year, our 13th guy, how often he played, and and you're probably going to play less than that. And X, Y, Z. You're not going to be happy here. You'd be happier somewhere else." I mean, coaches are salesmen. That's what they do. They're very persuasive, and so there's a very fine line sometimes between a guy wanting to leave and a coach suggesting it, or a coach forcing his hand. It's all a big gray area. I just know that when it happens a lot, and it all revolves around your roster size and how many scholarships you've got available, while you're still in the process of trying to bring in high level recruits, it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you just one of your. I saw the other day you mentioned that people, it's not quote unquote, but people think that UK was the dirty program, and say kind of referring to it as U of L. Are you saying that it's U of L is UK is doing it right now? Because I'm pretty sure you were at the Memphis commercial appeal when Calipari was there, and you may have not thought too highly about that down there. Are you thinking UK is doing it right now and U of L is not?
Kentucky, in terms of running guys off?
Yeah, just being not the dirty program, I guess, from your tweet you said.
Look, I mean, the national media,
yes,
which often tends to be, a little bit detached and lazy. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
They kind of focused in on Kentucky this year, and rightfully so, because Kentucky was the number one team for much of the year and ended up winning the national championship. But kind of built this narrative around the one and done thing and Calipari and how it was so awful for college sports that guys were only on college campuses for 1 year, and that Kentucky's not doing this the right way, and blah blah blah. And I've always felt that was ridiculous, and it was more of a commentary on not necessarily Louisville or Kentucky, just kind of the perception of the perception that a lot of people have because they don't look underneath the surface, and they don't. My belief is that most programs are operating in a pretty similar manner. College basketball is about as slimy a sport as there is.
Yes.
From top to bottom, and a lot of the practices that go on, at Louisville, I've disagreed with a lot of the stuff that's gone on there. I've been harshly critical of Pitino for his personal situation, and for Louisville for kind of standing by him through that. I don't think that's a great. I don't think that's a great story. I think it's kind of a disturbing story about the power successful coaches have on campus. So it's just more a commentary on that. And because a lot of the media, especially that dislike Calipari or think he's dirty, have this tendency to, because Louisville is the rival, to kind of paint them as the good guy. And I don't think it's quite that simple.
Yeah, no. Of course, we have Dan Wolken again from KentuckySports.co and The Daily. Let everybody know real quick about The Daily. It's a downloadable app, I believe, #1 news app in the country.
Yeah, we started on the iPad. We're now on other mobile devices, including the iPhone. If you go to the App Store, it's 7 days a week. original content delivered to your mobile device, formatted specifically for the iPad. And you need to go to the iTunes store and download it. I think you get a free trial, and then it's $35 a year or 99 cents a week to subscribe and have it delivered to you daily, and certainly worth checking out.
Yeah, I'm checking out the site right now. It's easy, get on there to thedaily.com. It's easy setup right there. Click it, download it, you got it. Dan, before we do let you go, I wanted to ask you one quick question. You did follow. You were at the Memphis Appeal when Cal was there, right? I am correct with that, right?
Yeah, I was there his last four seasons at Memphis.
Okay. What are your thoughts of Cal Perry now to when he was there? Obviously, you were in the heart of it there, so you knew what was going on there. Not what was going on, how he was. Have your thoughts changed of him, or are they still the same?
Well, no. I mean, Calipari's he's always been the same person. Going back to UMass, what he's doing right now is he's capitalizing on this incredible amount of momentum that he had built starting with really that 2010 recruiting class.
The John Wall era.
The 2009. What's that?
The John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins class.
Right, the John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins recruiting class. I guess that was 2009. Which had come right on the heels of him going to the national championship game in Memphis. Those were guys he had committed DeMarcus Cousins in Memphis. He had signed, or he was about to commit John Wall. And you could kind of see where this thing was going, and kind of how his kind of strategy evolved. And it really wasn't something that he planned or schemed. I think it just kind of happened that way. Kentucky was in a desperate situation because the Gillespie thing was just a complete disaster. I mean, nobody would ever think that 2 years into that it would be he'd be fired. And Calipari was the hot guy at that particular time, and decided to take the Kentucky job. But he's always been the same guy. He's just, what he's doing right now is he's taken everything that he's done and everything he's built, at Memphis, and he's kind of taking it to a different level.
Yeah, I would totally agree with everything you said. I know we're up against the break, Dan. Are you a soccer man at all?
No, I'll probably watch or go somewhere to watch that game tomorrow. It just doesn't really interest me that much, but I know a lot of people have gotten into it.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Our buddy John Renshaw, that hosts one of the weekday shows, I'm sure you've heard of him. Me and him got into it. I'm gonna go with Spain. I just thought I'd ask you. Well, Dan, we do appreciate you coming on, taking a few minutes out of your time. Get you on down the road, I hope.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Knowledgeable guy, Dan Wolken, FoxSports.com.
And I wanted to have him on because I wanted somebody from the outside. I mean, he's not from this area. I wanted to see what his perception of what's going on in Louisville, what's going on in Kentucky.
And he's a straight shooter, too, which I like. He's going to tell you the truth, and, he sticks to his word. I really do. Dan Wolken, check him out. The Daily. I've never even heard of The Daily until this, and I'm looking at it, and it seems like an awesome app.
Yeah.
It really does. If you need the national news and whatnot. If you want
to follow somebody who is knowledgeable and everything on Twitter.
Tweeting from 8 to 2 a.m.
Wolken.
Is it at Dan Wolken?
Yeah.
On follow him, hit the little blue button, and you follow us at KentuckySports.co. Check it out on Twitter. It's a good thing Matt's producer is running that. Quick note before we get to this break: Aaron Andrews is leaving ESPN. Maybe going to Fox Sports. Maybe going to Fox. Joining Dan.
Everybody's leaving ESPN.
It is. That's why we're on Yahoo Sports Radio. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. Myself, Tyler Boyd, and John Hancock.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Name something you sit in.
A chair.
My own feces. Name a popular fruit.
Orange.
Play Aiken. Something in your closet.
Shoes.
Scary monsters. Your favorite holiday.
Christmas.
9/11. Something you do on the weekends.
Go to church.
Black guys.
Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
We're back with the Weekend Sports Buzz. Myself, Tyler Boyd, John Hancock, Matt bringing us in with some good Euro 2012 hype up music.
What the heck was that, man?
Yeah, I'm getting my whole way on. It was in the moment. Didn't even know I blacked out. A little tunnel vision. Sorry if you.
Apparently, yeah.
Hey, it was fine. People like my singing. I'm sure. I'm very, very.
It is way too hot outside for you to be doing that loud noise.
But John, let's mention it real quick since Matt led into it. The Euro Cup 2012 final is tomorrow afternoon. We have Spain versus Italy. The Fighting John Renshaws of Italy. He's very excited about them. I said they're overrated going in. I was told they were overrated going into this year. I thought Italy is a good team. Obviously, I was correct.
Excellent team.
Obviously, I was correct. Italy knows how to play soccer. To Jeff Borzello, who called me out and said they're overrated and they're not a good team.
Spain looked good at the end of the game the other day.
They did. They're all Spain's good. I play with them on FIFA all the time. They are unbelievable. No, but they have Cristiano. Not Cristiano. They don't have Cristiano. Portugal. I don't know if you saw this. It was already talked about. I know this is over the week. We're weekend. We got to get it out there. Spain eliminated Portugal on penalty kicks. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best players in the world, best player on the team without doubt, didn't even get a shot, John.
Well, you're supposed to kick last.
I know. I see. I played soccer. I played soccer in college. I know all that stupid rules. Well, guess what? We played in penalty kicks against St. X and DeSales in tournaments throughout when I was senior year. We did our best players first.
They did like 3 defenders.
Yep. Well, that's they say. It's all about spots. Who has the best spots. It's not just who's the best player.
One guy only had one other penalty kick.
I know.
In the league.
I know. It's penalty kicks are odd.
But Spain's goalie was amazing.
Oh, it's
fantastic first save.
He's great. He was the goalie of the year last year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, in the World Cup when I believe Spain won the World Cup. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And then Italy, they go on to win. They beat Germany 2-1. They got 2 quick ones in at the end of the first half. Nice header and a nice ripper by the same guy. I lost his name already. He has a sweet haircut, though. Sweet haircut. 2-1 now. You got Spain and Italy tomorrow. Who you going with, John?
Italy.
You going with Italy? Going with Spain.
I got Italian family.
That's fine. That's fine. You
gotta
go
represent.
with Italy. You get a little rivalry here. I'm going to go with Spain. The Spaniards and Casillas, their goalie. He's a stud, but so is Italy. It's gonna be a good game. And there's your Euro update for the weekend.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. That's all we really know. You'll get more tomorrow. Me and Kelly and Danielle, we'll recap the game. I'll get some good information for you. I'm gonna actually no, we won't recap it. It's later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was today for some reason. Or is it today, John?
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. It's a Sunday. Yeah. So looks like we'll just see what Kelly and Danielle have to say tomorrow. Danielle's you got an odd stance of soccer. So
who cares?
Yeah. So really, who cares is right. Let's move on, John. Before we could get really dead. I want to get some random news out there real quick to everybody. We're at the top of our second hour. 1450 sportsbuzz.com, 384-1450 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. Give us a shout. Obviously, we have Mike Tyson, his birthday. Michael Phelps' birthday. We're here in the Olympics. The Olympic trials going on a couple weeks away from the Olympics. He's 26. Him and Ryan Lochte. Have you been watching any of the trials?
I haven't been able to watch the trials, but I have followed them.
I've been catching the trials.
I'm
fun.
a huge Ryan Lochte
He's
fan.
fast.
He's really fast. He's a little bit cocky.
That's good.
Has a little bit of swagger.
I'm kind of split between the middle of Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte. Ryan Lochte's fast. He's cocky. Michael Phelps might be a partier. I'm not sure, but It's his birthday. He's 26, heading into the Olympics. Happy birthday to Michael Phelps. And it's also Sheryl Crow's birthday. John, I could have swore Sheryl Crow was in her 40s or so. She's only 28.
She's had a rough. I mean, I think she has cancer for like the third time.
Well, I did not know that at all. I wasn't throwing that.
Well, I mean,
now
like,
I just feel like
it makes you feel old. I would think,
Is this Cheryl? Little Cheryl from Matt's producer. The random news though, that was her birthday. Michigan State and UConn, they're gonna play November 9th in Germany, Ramstein Air Base. That's cool.
Awesome.
That's awesome. You got plenty of people there from here that love sports, have to watch the delay games. Now, have to watch UCLA play live, maybe, because the West Coast. Now, that you get to watch a good game. Obviously, Michigan State was a part of the Carrier last year, all right, with North Carolina.
The Carrier Classic. That was fantastic.
It was awesome. You got a full boat of Tyler Zeller's family, and then a bunch of America's greatest. Our Army, our Navy. It was Navy then. It was good
I
stuff.
think it had a mix, but yeah.
It was good stuff. It's then Zeller's family. Middle school basketball recruiting battleground. John, I wanted to ask you about this. What is this about? Did you put that link on there, or did somebody else?
It was me.
Yeah, are you saying that the middle school is that's where it's at now?
Apparently, according to this New York Times article, that's where it's at. There's AAU. Well, I mean, I know kids that play AAU ball in 5th grade.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I played in 5th grade, but it's my 5th grade to now is totally different, I believe.
It's crazy.
Isn't 5th grade elementary school?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I know. I was watching the number one 6-year-old in the nation crossover with LeBron James Jr. the other day. Made him fall. Went up for a nice little finger roll. He's gonna be a stud. You watch him. And you know what he said? He wants to play for Kentucky. You go get him, Cal Perry. He's 6 years old. It's something. Let the kids live, right?
It ruins the game. It turns it into a business. That's kind of what Dan was talking about. Is college sports now is a business.
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to get younger and younger. Let the kids enjoy the game.
I think you shouldn't You shouldn't. AAU is going to start early. I know AAU for all sport. That's fine. Competitive. It's competitive sports. Competitive.
I love competitive.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I don't think coaches should be going and watching fifth graders though at AAU circuits. Just let them go play.
It makes them seem creepy.
Wait till at least you're at 8th grade. At least 8th grade. I mean, they're 14 then, 15 at most.
Most college basketball
13,
coaches look creepy anyway. They don't need to be around little 10-year-olds playing basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. And of course, the random news. Diamondbacks, Aaron Hill, John, hit for the second cycle in 2 weeks. First time since 1931, one player's hit for 2 cycles in the same season, and he's hit it in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
They have a very nice stadium now.
Diamondbacks are playing well, John. I probably haven't looked. I didn't know that till last night. They're playing well. Not as good as the Reds, because the Reds are just awesome, obviously. But the cycle is hard enough to hit 2. It's that's crazy in my opinion. And I'm watching the Reds highlights, so we're going to talk about the Reds for a minute, John. They're playing the Giants right now. Giants just came off 4 shutouts in a row. That's very, very impressive.
Yeah, and then
Matt Cain was on the mound. They were looking for 5 until Zach Cozart led the game off with a home run last night. Jay Bruce went 4 for 4, a couple doubles, a couple RBIs. Votto did his thing. It was a fun game. Mike Leake, the pitcher, hit a bomb.
His second of the year.
He's batting like
Is he the best pitcher that's a batter?
Yes, without a doubt. Put him in left field. He's fast. I'm sure he can catch a pop-up, and he can hit. Why not put him in the rotation of left field? I'd be all for it. I'm excited about the Reds. I'm going to talk about the Reds a little bit after this Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline call. I want to get to it real quick because my man, the Truth, is on the line. How you doing this morning?
Oh, man, I'm all right. I sure do miss listening to y'all on the radio down
We miss
there.
you too, Truth. It's just not the same.
How is it? How'd the move go? Everything settle in okay?
Yes, I'm doing okay, and I miss Truth. I've helped her. She went to the hospital, and she having her surgery Monday, so everything working out good.
Good.
The doctors found out what's wrong with her, so it's been beautiful. But one thing I'm very upset, my Yankees in trouble.
Your Yankees are in trouble, Truth. You are not kidding. What's going on?
I'm telling you, it seems like the injury bugs have hit our pitching staff.
Obviously, CC Sabathia, he's out throughout the All-Star break. Andy Pettit just broke his fibula. How does a pitcher break his fibula? I don't know.
The ball hit off his leg and went on out there. But remember this: the Yankees got plenty of money. Will go out and get us a pitcher.
You're gonna get, but they got plenty of money. I'm looking. They're 4 games up right now. As long as they can get through, the next month, I would say. I think the true Yankees are gonna be just okay.
And I seen your Cincinnati Reds play last night.
Did you?
I'm gonna tell you, my goodness, y'all gotta get. The only thing I think y'all need to go out and get y'all another pitcher.
I do agree. We need to go get a left-handed starting pitcher, in my opinion.
That's
we don't
what
have
y'all
one.
need.
Yes, sir.
That's what. Well, y'all be blessed, and I'll holler at y'all next Saturday.
Good call,
All right,
Truth.
good
I'm
luck.
glad everything's going good for you.
Yeah, we'll be praying for your wife.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm glad Truth gave us a shout. I was wondering how to move on it.
It's just not the same around Kentucky and without the Truth.
Well, it's always the same when he calls in, and if he feels like it's home again.
I mean, he's in Evansville listening to us, probably on his 1450 app.
The iPhone or Android app, maybe on 1450sportsbuzz.com. John, maybe on Kentucky Sports, maybe on iHigh.com/Kentucky Sports.
Hey, maybe he sees
Maybe
our
he's
face
looking
right
at
now.
us. Hey, what's up, Truth?
Going, man,
John Hancock hasn't grown his stash. You haven't grown your... What do you call
goatee?
that? Your goatee out? You just gonna stick right out without it?
I don't know.
You grew out of it?
I thought about
Old
it.
age is hitting you, John?
No, I thought about it. I just see so many people now with beards, and they look uncool, and I'm like, did I look that uncool with it?
John, you look awesome with it.
No, let me go ahead and answer that question for you. No, you didn't. You looked ridiculous. No,
Well, if I can't grow it on my head, you grow it on my face.
You got it on your head. You're good.
Yeah, just...
I remember we didn't even notice when he came in and he shaved it off. It was a miracle. I was amazed when I looked at you. I was like, oh my goodness, John's beard's gone, and you're not growing it back out. Check us out, KentuckySports.co. Call us, Oxmoor, Fort Lincoln, buzz on 384-1450. Back to the Cincinnati Reds, John. I know I've been harping on it. They're 4 for their last 11. They hit a little kind of a rough patch, but it's baseball. There's 160 games. It's going to happen. They went on a hot streak. They swept 2 teams in a row, the Indians and the Mets, before this happened. It happens. It's baseball. They're still in first place. They are, if this page will load, so it happens when you got 40 pages loaded at the same time. It's not loading. They're about a game and a half up on St. Louis, on Pittsburgh. They're 1 up on Pittsburgh, 42-34 the Reds. Pittsburgh 41-35. Cardinals 40-37. Cubs, just Cubs 27-49. You are awful. Just getting that out there. I don't like the Cubs as much as I dislike Louisville. John, we gotta go to the Reds game. They're playing good.
We do have. Well, I had family go up there and they lost, so I don't want to jinx them.
No.
I haven't been up there this year.
We haven't been, though. The KentuckySports crew is going to get up there because we got to go watch Joey Votto hit. He's batting .354. Brandon Phillips is turning on. He's getting to the 300 mark. He's .287. Jay Bruce is consistently playing well, which is odd for Jay Bruce. He's, he was, May Bruce, I believe it was earlier this season. NL Player of the Month. Had a slow get started down, but he's turned it back on. The pitching's well. Aroldis is rolling somersaults after saves. Did you see that?
I did see that. That was pretty impressive.
What are your thoughts to that? I know Dusty came out after the game and said, we don't do that. The front office said, we don't do that. Blah, 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 blah.
Why not?
Why not? Have some fun.
Baseball is like a 3.5-hour game. If you want to look forward to a dude doing a flip, then if that's going to get you to watch the whole game, Reds should be thanking their lucky stars. Yeah, I bet the front office told Dusty to shut up after that comment.
Could be seen as maybe they're worried about him maybe hurt himself something crazy. Maybe that.
I guess
the fun factor has to be there at some point.
Well, Barry Larkin did it coming out. Ozzie Smith used to come out.
Ozzie Smith, every other play, Ozzie Smith was doing something.
People went to games to watch Ozzie Smith do crazy stuff.
Now people are going to go, hopefully there's going to be a roll every time he gets a save. I think that should be his calling card. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
It give me a reason to drive up there every night. Just watch Roldis do
he seems a little crazy.
He's from Cuba.
He seems a little nuts.
He might be a little nuts. He's from Cuba. Obviously, he's been here for what? A year. 2 years now. He's just getting used to the American way, seriously, no.
It's not like he was slumming in Cuba, though.
I'm not saying he was slumming, John, or anything like that. I'm just saying, if he did this Aroldis roll in Cuba after a big save, it's not going to be talked about at all. Is what I'm trying to get to. I think.
He's free. He's not in communism anymore.
And
if he wants to do a flip It's his God-given right to do
flip.
a flip.
I mean, the man got out of Cuba. He can flip if he wants to flip. And the chick that tried to say she extorted him,
that seemed to be false.
It was a lie. She came out and said she lied, or that he robbed her in a hotel room. That's what it was. Come on, the man just made $54 million. He's not Mike Leake. He's not stealing 6 shirts from Macy's. You know, she's a liar. Don't lie about my man Aroldis. We'll roll on you. Don't do it.
Speaking of criminals, I want to talk about Isaiah Crowell real quick.
Yeah. Bring that up.
The running back for Georgia. I have a lot of friends that are Georgia Bulldog fans.
My family's from Macon.
They are not that excited.
He's supposed to be one of the best running backs.
He's very talented. I mean, last year was his freshman year. Very, very talented.
Set the stage. I'll set the stage for your part. Obviously was arrested 2 days ago for gun charges. Arrested, he had a gun on him, I believe, maybe more than one. I don't know. I haven't read too much into it. But what did he tweet this morning?
Yeah, it seems that he tweeted, seem like somebody burning candles on me. God has a plan, and all the haters can say whatever, because I'm going to get stronger and still reach the top.
First off,
You're kicked off the Bulldogs team. Who's going to pick you up?
Somebody. Well, a small school, Coastal Carolina, that type of school, FIU maybe.
How are we haters?
I love John. That's what I was saying. I love John saying haters.
Haters.
Matt, do you?
It's not even spelled right.
Haters. John saying haters.
H-A-T-A-S.
It's a little awkward, to be honest with you.
Isaiah Crowell, you're an idiot. You just got arrested with gun charges, and now everybody's hating on you. No, you're dumb. You had a gun charge. Well, nobody's hating on you.
What are you doing with a gun?
You're a D1.
Of course, everybody in Georgia has a gun. Let's be honest.
Everybody everywhere has guns, John.
I'm not packing.
I'm not packing. We got about 20 guns in our household. It doesn't mean I'm packing. Isaiah Crowell, you're a running back for a top program in the country, Georgia Bulldogs, and you're carrying a weapon around. How hood is Athens? I mean, what's this kid doing outside of the program to carry a gun around? It's obviously a good thing this happened for Mark Richt, because something else probably would have happened throughout the season.
Absolutely.
Got it out early.
And props to Mark Richt for not,
manning up and just saying, sorry, you're gone, kid.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Because I think a lot of programs maybe wouldn't have done that.
I believe
there's a lot of players.
Maybe Louisville will go get him, considering they tried to bring in Woody Williams with his machine gun robbery in North Carolina. Why not bring him to the Ville, right?
Well, I know Charlie's
got higher standards.
Well, not only that, he likes to bring in, some players who have certain past, because he wants to try to build them up.
Oh yeah, for
sure. I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time,
while we got just about a minute before this break, John, NCAA approved the 14 playoff for the BCS. Are you excited about this?
Kind of.
Why?
Because I just don't know if it completely fixes the problem.
You might be right. I guess we won't know for a few years, honestly, for at least a year or two. I think it's going to be good. Just make sure you get the right teams in there. Matt, do we got a minute to go to the Oxmoor? Let's do that real quick. Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzzline. We got Tony on the line. How you doing this morning, buddy?
How you doing, guys?
We're doing great. What you got in your mind?
I was wondering what's the latest on the conference realignment. Have you heard anything about the Big 12? I mean, I heard a little teaser yesterday about Chuck Nennis made some comments as far back as 6 months ago. I couldn't hear the whole thing because I was at work. But he made a little teaser, and I think it had something to do with made comments about the University of Louisville as far as them coming into the Big 12.
Well, I think there's lots of speculation right now. I think Louisville has placed itself in a very good position, not only for the Big 12, but maybe even the ACC if that becomes open. I think it matters who opens first, and Louisville's going to go for that. That's what it seems like. There's a lot of speculation, and Chuck and a lot of different people who follow conference expansion have made certain things. So it seems like Louisville is in a great position for any conference. Whoever opens first, that's who Louisville's going to try to get in.
In an odd sort of a way, if Florida State was to leave the ACC all this time never wanted Louisville, said it wasn't good enough academically. they would wind up being the savior of the ACC.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, obviously I'm a big SEC guy, Kentucky fan, but I think Louisville needs to get into the ACC before the Big 12. In my opinion, I think it'd be best for their basketball, basketball thing and football in general. Tony, I know you're a big Louisville fan. Do you want the ACC or the Big 12?
I get mixed feelings on it.
Okay.
I would prefer the ACC, but from what I'm hearing, the rumor is the Big 12 would try to raid them almost as soon as they join, and then it puts you right back in the position you're in now. So I think they're gonna do them probably like ACC eventually. They'll probably do them like what's been done to Big East eventually. Why don't UK join the ACC and give Louisville their spot?
Well, come on, Tony. Come on. We're not leaving the classiest conference out there.
I mean, but you're pretty much a welfare recipient of the conference.
Whatever.
I mean, here's the thing the guy told me. He said if Louisville played in the SEC, they wouldn't be this and they wouldn't be that. I said, well, when is UK gonna start playing in it?
If Louisville and Kentucky were both in the SEC, I think that'd be great. I think if Louisville and SEC, obviously, it's going to be same teams. If Kentucky moved conference, obviously, it's going to majorly bolster the football program. Obviously, it's going to help them out drastically, but we're not leaving the SEC, and we're not bringing little brother in, Tony. I'm sorry. You can't do it.
The little brother, you know that Louisville's like 20, 50 years older than.
I know. I do know this, Tony. We're up against the break. As always, my man. Appreciate the calls.
Thanks so much, Tony.
All right, thanks.
Good. Well, Tony's been a regular caller now recently. I like it. Big time Card fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Breaking news: apparently, Kevin Garnett is coming back to the Celtics and will be there for more than 1 year.
Really? So he's not going to retire?
No. So
awesome.
I guess.
Yes.
Sully didn't scare him off, or either did Fab Melo.
Yeah. Or he's just like, maybe I can win with Fab Melo. Anyways, let's get to our break. Oxmoor 4 Lincoln Buzzline 384-1450. Give us a shout at 10:30. Joe Menzer from NASCAR.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz.
Saturday night, it's the Quaker State 400 at Kentucky Speedway. Jeff Burton talks about the first Sprint Cup race at the track last year.
I honestly didn't have very good expectations going to Kentucky. I'd been there to test a few times and was not all that excited about going there to race. I just didn't see that it was going to be the kind of racetrack that we would put on a good race, but I was proven to be wrong.
James Busher won the truck race at Kentucky.
Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz Line at 384-1450.
We're back to Weekend Sports Buzz, coming in with a little bit of NASCAR talk for everybody.
Was that the Days of Thunder theme? I think that's what Matt said.
That was the Days of Thunder theme, I do believe.
Speaking of Tom Cruise getting a divorce.
He is. He's getting a divorce. Shocking. Oh, God, shocking. Shocking news of the day.
Can't wait to watch that on Oprah.
God. I thought Oprah retired.
No, she has her own channel now. It's like Oprah.
She has her own channel?
Yeah. It's like Lifetime ×2, apparently. I don't know. I have two channels.
It's Oprah.
It's more Oprah all the time.
That just shows how loaded she is. She has her own channel.
I don't think anybody watches.
I don't. I've never even heard of it. Oprah channel. What
you have to pay extra for it.
If you know what channel Oprah is, 384-1450. Let me know what channel Oprah is.
Actually, if you know what that channel is, don't call. Because you're not that interested.
The number is 054. No, exactly. Coming in with Days Thunder, NASCAR. Obviously, Carolina gave us a quick update. Matt's getting Joe Menzer on the line from NASCAR.com as we speak, so we'll have him on here in just a quick moment. Leading into it, though, John, we have last night's Nationwide Series race. Austin Dillon, he got his 26th Nationwide start, his first win. He takes over the points lead, but he's cheating. He had, I guess, his back fender was too high. Is that what Carolina told us?
Apparently. I don't know much. I know there's a lot of things that you can't do to your car, or you're supposed to do to your car.
Only thing I know is restrictor plates. That's why, I was like, it's a restrictor plate. Just trying to sound like I'm a NASCAR guy. But obviously, I was wrong.
I don't play. I am not a NASCAR guy.
I'm not at all. I know names. But some guy that is a NASCAR guy, we got him on the line now from NASCAR.com. Our man, Joe Menzer. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. Appreciate you coming on, taking a few minutes to talk about the Quaker State 400.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad we hooked up. I think a couple weeks ago I accidentally stiffed you guys and forgot I was supposed to come on.
No. It
happens.
It happens all the time. It's part of the gig. No big deal at all. We got you on the weekend of the day of the race, which is that's even better. Obviously, we have the Kentucky Speedway, Sparta, Kentucky, Quaker State 400 today. Later in the afternoon. Kyle Busch is the defending champion of this race. He was the runner-up in last night's Nationwide Series to Austin Dillon. I wanted to bring that up to you first. Did you see the Nationwide result last night with Austin?
Yeah, I was out there last night. I stayed for the Nationwide race. Austin Dillon just was dominant, really, and kind of cool to see that black number 3 car get into victory lane in a stock car. So very cool night. He was absolutely dominant. That car was a rocket, and very cool to see him get in there and with his new signature cowboy hat get into victory lane. So
yeah, I saw that. That was
a cool deal last night.
That was a pretty sweet cowboy hat he had on. I believe he ran 192 of the laps leading of them, if I'm sure. We had a guy, one of our loyal NASCAR callers, Carolina Steve. He gave us a shout earlier. He was actually up there as well. He said that Dillon's back rear fender was too high and his car was illegal.
Well, if that's the case, they still won't take the victory from him.
Okay.
That's not what NASCAR does. They will penalize him points and possibly fine him. But I did leave the track before the all clear signal came from the inspection. So I'm not aware of that if that's true, but if so, it's not NASCAR's policy to take the victory away, so he will still have the victory.
Well, that's good to know, because that's definitely one thing I didn't know. I knew they'd be docking points, but it does show that he is now the he took over the lead into standings. So I don't know if that's before or after, if it's even true. I guess we'll find out. But you were there. Obviously, you were there.
Well, you'll find out on Tuesday is when you'll find out. That's when they'll come out. If there are any penalties, that's when they'll come out.
Okay, it's on Tuesday. We'll look into that then. Obviously, you were there. What was yesterday like? The heat on the track, I believe it was around 135, 140.
Well, it was a very weird day because it was so hot earlier in the day when they were practicing, and then through the first half of qualifying, and then I happened to actually be outside when that storm kind of came blowing through there, and it came through very quickly. Not a lot of rain, in fact, very, very little rain, but the winds gusted up to 45 miles per hour, and were so, tents were collapsing in the infield, and people were kind of running for cover. I know a crewman for the number 38 nationwide team actually had his hand pretty severely injured. Wow. He tried to catch a pit box started to collapse, and he tried to catch it as one section of it started to collapse, and got his hand caught in there, and he had to be rushed to the hospital, and actually is on his way back to North Carolina. He may even be back there by now. He's going to have surgery on that hand.
Jeez.
So it was a very weird storm. It kind of came and went pretty fast, but it also stopped qualifying for I think 17 minutes or something like that, and Cup qualifying that is, and it kind of changed the track right there. I think it dropped something like 40 degrees.
Yes.
In a matter of less than an hour, which was very bizarre, and also makes you wonder, some of these guys that qualified in that second half of that, if it really means anything going into the track. It probably means more how fast they were in practice prior to that, because that's probably going to be a more telling thing. And then again, it's a night race, so there's a lot of variables tonight to make this kind of an interesting race.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the race. Tonight, 6:30 I believe is when we get going. It's the Kentucky Speedway. It's a tri-oval. It's a 3-wide track. Is the 3-wide racing goal? Is that it's not the normal? Am I correct? Usually it's 2. For the general tracks.
Every track is different. Some tracks are wide enough. Michigan being one of them that they just raced at. That sometimes you'll even see them 4 wide.
Wow.
But this is a track with pretty wide sweeping corners, and you should see some 3-wide action, which is always fun. You don't really want to see them get spread out. Last night's race was great for Austin Dillon, but I think that fans generally like to to see a little bit more action, close action up near the front and throughout the field, instead of just seeing one dominant car. So I kind of hope that that's what we see tonight, and hopefully it will be.
Yes, for sure. It's always the fans. It's expanded from 66,000, I believe. It's going to be a very crowded Sparta racetrack. And we have Joe Menzer from NASCAR.com joining us. Jimmy Johnson won the pole for the race, his first since 2010 at Dover, which is odd to me. But who is the guy, in your opinion, that could take home the cup today, the trophy?
Well, there's a lot of guys to look out for. Obviously, Kyle Busch being your defending champion, sitting second in qualifying is a guy to watch out for. You can never rule out Jimmy Johnson, who starts from the pole, as you just mentioned. But I think, again, you got to look toward practice times. And the car that far and away was the fastest in the last practice yesterday was Jeff Gordon's car. So I think if I had to pick a guy, I'd probably pick Jeff Gordon, and I also I think Kevin Harvick gets around here pretty good, and he's kind of due for a win too. So if I had to pick a couple of guys to watch, I think it'd be Gordon and Harvick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Been a Tony Stewart fan. Stewart Haas Racing. I'm gonna stick with Tony. Hopefully he can pull one out for my whatever kind of NASCAR I do follow a little bit. And obviously we are here in the heart of Kentucky. You know, we're down in Louisville. Mike Waltrip, he's a Owensboro.
Well, hey, buddy, we watch other sports too. You know, I know
I'm
that.
From
Hamilton, Ohio, my man. I'm a big Reds fan. I grew up with a big Red machine. Could sit here and talk Reds baseball with you all day long. I covered the NFL for 12 years.
Awesome.
So I've been doing this for about 6 years. I do love it. It's like a traveling circus. There's a lot of good stuff to write about, but you know, we do know a little bit more than just motors. And
I totally don't know that. I was just saying that my NASCAR knowledge is under par, and I'm trying to get it up
there. Hey,
there.
buddy, you have to get out to a race, man.
I want
That's
to bad. I really want to. I think we're going to try to go to the. I think the Nationwide or truck is going to be there in October, if I'm correct, and we're going to try to go up there for one of those. But obviously, Michael Waltrip, he's going to be driving a UK commemorative championship car. You're from around the area. You follow the Reds. You know, have you seen it? Is it a sweet little ride?
If you're a Kentucky fan, it's a sweet little ride. I'm not a Kentucky fan. But,
I am a Kentucky fan.
It's a good-looking race car. It really is. I actually was at the press conference where it was unveiled, and it's a sweet-looking ride. And they had the national championship trophy there and everything. Nice. When they unveiled it. It's funny though. I asked, Michael Waltrip went and watched the national championship game with Clint Boyer, who drives for him, and they went and watched the national championship game together. And Clint's he's from Kansas, and he's a Kansas fan.
Huh.
And so I asked Clint later on I said, hey, did you get your picture taken with that Kentucky car yet? And he just kind of, he said that wasn't going to be happening. So,
yeah, I've guaranteed that. Well, Joe, you mentioned you're a big Reds fan. We're big Reds followers. Our website, KentuckySports.co. I mean, we follow the Reds every day. Big Reds fans. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this season? We're first. We're playing well.
It was a big win last night.
Big win.
I was listening to Marty last night. Driving back from the track and actually listened to most of the game. I drove all the way to Hamilton last night to see some friends. And,
okay.
So, you know, we just need to get, you can't win 6 and then lose 4 in a row.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see him start being a little bit more consistent there, but got to get through this West Coast trip and stay in that 8 to 10 games over 500 range, and I think we'll be fine. I really like this team. I think it's a fun team to watch. We get about 80 to 90% of their games on Fox Sports Ohio down in Charlotte, North Carolina, and so I get to watch them a lot, and really excited about this season. I think it's a good young team, and just need them to get a little more consistent. And when they get on a roll, stay on a roll. Don't give back those games that they just won. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what me and John were talking about before we got you on. You can't sweep 2 guys out and then come in and almost get swept too. But it's fine. We're on an 11-game road trip. Let's go ahead and hopefully take 8 of these. Get out there, come back to Cincinnati, play well.
Oh, man, I love your optimism.
I am.
Huh?
I'm really thinking this is the year.
Yeah, I'd settle for 6 and 5 on this one.
Hey, I'll take 6 and 5 as well. But
8 would be better.
8 would be great. Better. 8 would be great. Joe, now that we know you're a Reds fan, might have to get you on, down playoffs times, whatnot, talk to you. We really appreciate you coming on.
Hey, I enjoyed it, guys. Thanks a lot. And a little-known fact, Marty Brenneman's daughter works at Kentucky Speedway in public relations. Very nice.
I actually think I heard Marty and Tom talking about that on one of the Reds Live pregame shows a few weeks ago. They had Kyle Busch on, I think it was, and they mentioned it then.
Yeah, Ashley works in there, and I got to tell you, I got to give her a shout-out because she's trying to find my freaking phone, which got misplaced last night at Kentucky Speedway. So good luck to her, and if anybody's listening out there and they found my phone, please turn it in to Ashley at the media
turn it in or call us at 384-1450. We'll get it to Joe. Joe, good luck finding your phone, and have fun this afternoon.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Excellent. He's a Reds fan. He just makes me like Joe even more. A knowledgeable NASCAR guy. He's up there. It's always good to get a guy that's in the mold. Like we had Gordon Marino. He was at the Pacquiao fight with Tim Bradley. I like. We like to go national, John.
That's what we are.
That's what we are. We're national.
We're bigger than this small room, Tyler.
Oh gosh, this small room couldn't hold how big our heads are, John.
Absolutely.
Matt, do we need to get to our last break? All right, let's do that. If you all want to give us a shout, 384-1450 on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line. And quickly, what is it today, guys? Starting July 2nd through the 8th, Oxmoor Ford Lincoln, mention the 1450 Sports Buzz and get a free check engine light diagnosis on any Ford or Lincoln vehicle. Oxmoor Ford service is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 to 4. Again, Oxmoor Ford Lincoln, mention the 1450 Sports Buzz. They'll hook you up. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Weekend Sports Buzz. Let us know what you think. Give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line at 384-1450.
am John Hancock here with Tyler Bloyd. Having a great Saturday show.
Great Saturday show.
Great interview with Joe Menzer from NASCAR.com and, of course, Dan Wolken earlier from The Daily. It's been a lot of fun. We have a couple more minutes if you want to give us a call on the Oxmoor Ford Lincoln Buzz line, 502-384-1450. Let us know what you think about the draft, the Reds, the race tonight, anything that you want to talk about, give us a call. We have about 15 more minutes. Tyler?
John, I wanted to bring up a little bit of Louisville, Kentucky quickly. We're in the final segment. Might as well get some local talk again. Football, Kentucky has 3 commitments, all 3 stars, maybe even 2 3-stars, and a 5-star kicker, punter. Kicker Austin McGinnis. They got a defensive end, Ramsey Myers, and a cornerback, Blake McLean, who is supposed to be a very talented athlete. I'm excited about that. Joker has now had 8 commitments for the 2013 class. It's turned out to be, it could be a good class. Matt, we have a slight buzz in the Buzz earphones. If you want to fix that for me, it'd be appreciated. And the 8th commitment, John, for 2013 class, he's rolling early.
Yeah, I think Louisville has 10 or 11.
Do they? Both of them. Putting some commitments out early.
Joker's getting some really good commitments. I've been impressed.
Maybe this gives Joker an extra year. What's coming in. Over what's there now. What's coming in next year. You never know. Even if he has a down year. I know we talked about it. Wins. What's going to keep Joker around. I think on 4 wins. I think that he should stick around. I know that sounds awful, but I just still think you should give him 1 more year after this year. Let his team kind of get in there. His team. But if our offense is horrible again, and he's running it, making the calls, then you might have to look at something different. I don't know. Well, I guess the season, we got a few months, not far away, 63 days, I think. I'm excited about that. Louisville, you all had 7 cards, I believe. What is going on here with this thing?
I don't know.
It's annoying. You had the number 1 player in the women's side take a visit just the other day, Mercedes Russell.
It was their second visit. This one was more of like a camp, I think, kind of elite camp. But yeah, Mercedes Russell from Oregon, very talented. She kind of has an Anthony Davis type story. Was a point guard, was like 5'8".
So now she's 6'1".
And now she's 6'5".
Really?
Yeah.
She looks like an athlete.
Yeah.
She really does.
Apparently, she is a program changer. Is everything that I've heard.
Louisville first, women's championships forever. Put that billboard up there.
We're good at all sports.
Kelly, my Sunday, we are too, John. Just look at our Capital One standings and the other one that we're ahead of you all. Kelly, my Sunday host, is high on this. He said, if this girl commits to Louisville, he's just going to talk all the smack he can talk. I don't care. I don't think the guy beside me cares. I want Louisville's women's team to win a championship for all I care. I said it. I don't care if your women's team wins sports. I don't care if your steeplechase team wins another national championship to all you people that think that's awesome. I don't care. I don't care with. I don't. I just think it's cool.
Why don't you care? I want the University of Louisville to be succul in every single sport.
I do too. That's why I just said if you all win a championship,
I'll be just as excited.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. Why wouldn't I be excited?
Why would you? Are you excited about the steeplechase national champions?
No, I don't care.
What? You don't care?
No, I don't.
Does that sound better, Matt? Is it good? There, we had to switch mics. I wonder what's going on there.
It's haunted.
I just, John. I think. I care. But I don't care if what I meant is I don't care if Louisville's women's win the championship. It's not going to be like, gosh, I got to go a whole year of knowing Louisville's women won a championship. No, I don't. I'll be happy for them, to be honest with you. I don't ever want your football team. I don't ever want your basketball team to win a championship. But if your women's sports do, if your soccer team does, I'm all for it. What if are you like that with UK? If UK's soccer team won a national championship, do you care? Or are you mad?
If they win it over Louisville, I care.
If they knocked Louisville out in the championship, if Kentucky got knocked out with Louisville in the championship, I might be disappointed too. But I wouldn't care. It's different, John. You can't have the passion that you can't. You can't tell me you have the passion that you have for football and basketball that you have for steeplechase or
cross country. Come on. Anybody that says that is absurd. They are.
I love the University of Louisville sports. I've been to several different events, not just basketball and football.
That's fine. I'm all about that. I like I've said, when you all can win every national championship every year, as long as it's not basketball and football, and I'm fine with it.
I think Louisville fans have proven that. I mean, even when the soccer the past couple of years,
no national championships,
right? But when we were in the running,
I know Akron knocked y'all out.
Packed the
They were
place
very
out.
good. Oh yeah,
cold weather.
We already talked about
outside.
that. We've talked about this every weekend.
So I think
weekend.
Louisville fans care.
Our fans bases get out there for whatever game it is, whatever sport. Both our fan bases. I'm not going to shoot down Louisville's fan base at all because they're just as good as Kentucky's when it comes to all these other type of sports. If there's a team that needs a fan following in the finals, our fan base is getting there. I'm not shooting that down. I just don't care if Louisville steeple. I don't care that you all won the steeplechase championship. Congratulations! I'll shake your coach's hand. Who cares? What is steeplechase? Horses? I don't even know. If Kentucky won the steeplechase national championship, woo! Like that $5 commercial box. Woo! I just don't care, John.
It looks great for the university
It does,
that we are getting in top recruits from all different types of sports. I mean, shoot, we got 10 for lacrosse. One of the best classes ever.
I just don't care at all about lacrosse's rankings. How can you? Who's got a better lacrosse shot?
I have no idea.
Who goes across the country?
Very much. But it's great for the university when we bring in top recruits in every single sport.
That is. It's great for any university. I'm not shooting that down at all. Not shooting it down for Louisville. You all can take your 10 Big Least championships and party with it. I'd be happy if I were you. Kentucky had like 6 or 7. I'm happy with those. Granted, our conference is way harder in every sport. Maybe except for Steve.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
I guarantee you, top to bottom, the SEC is way tougher in every sport than the Big East.
Well, there's some sports in the Big East that isn't even played in the SEC.
Exactly. Same with the other one. Half the Big East schools don't even play sports. They just play football. They might just play basketball, like Villanova. I mean, come on. Get some real schools in there. You're a joke. I think we should have that discussion next week, John. SEC versus Big East sports. We want to do that next Saturday?
We can do that.
I think that'd be a good topic.
We can talk about that.
All right, 304-1450. We're gonna next Saturday.
I'm just saying that I do care. I care that Mercedes Russell has potential to come in here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't
It makes our program and makes our school look fantastic.
Louisville's basketball's got a great women's basketball program. I already know this. I'm not dumb. I'm not putting my blue shaded glasses on like some Kentucky fans. I'm not going to put red shade glass on like half Louisville fans. Some of the interns I know out there that I can't stand. It's different. We're going to talk about that next weekend, John. We really are. That would be a good topic. Some random day news in history. Eddie Murray, 3,000 hits today, 95. Easy Eddie.
Was that for the Orioles?
That was for the Indians. Indians.
He played for the Orioles.
He did play for the Orioles as well. This is one of my favorites. Tanya Harding was barred from the U.S. skating for life due to her crowbar smacked, I believe, if I'm correct. Is that right?
Well, her bodyguard's crowbar smacked.
Yes, that's the only thing I can honestly bring back those days at the Olympics where you got to take people out with crowbars to win gold medals. I mean, come on, Tanya Harding. Now you're sitting on.
And then, she skated a little while and then broke her skate and just cried right in the middle.
Cried hard. Now she's on the True TV channel every other night at like 12 o'clock on those
Cops?
on those wild video type shows. Always she's one of those people. She's definitely lost it. Also,
she never had it.
She may have had it. Yeah, I guess not. She did have to take somebody out. Pre-trial hearings for O.J. Simpson began in '94. Let's see here. Chicago agrees to build a new stadium so the White Sox won't move to Florida in 1988. Weird. Giants Willie McCovey became the 12th hit for 500 home runs, 1978. And in 1965, Atlanta Falcons became a franchise, John.
Thank you, Atlanta Falcons.
Thank you, Atlanta.
A lot of Louisville players went to Atlanta.
A lot of Louisville players. Harry Douglas, quarterback. Chris Redmond. A lot of players. Oh, I'm glad you brought up Louisville players. Deion Branch. Did you see his tweets yesterday?
I did. He was not.
I am not happy with Deion Branch.
You're not happy with Deion Branch?
No.
Why?
As he's not happy with the billboards. This billboard, he tweeted out the picture of the billboard. He drives through the city and he saw this trash, this blah 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 blah, and then, he goes, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be paying very soon." And said some other things. Come on, Dion, you're a Super Bowl champion. I mean, I don't think you need to get that harsh.
Well, I mean, he's driving into Louisville. He hasn't been here for a little bit, and he sees a UK
There's
billboard.
one every year.
But it's a rivalry.
I know, but
that's why they put it there.
I don't understand why this
didn't on purpose.
Why didn't this blow up 4 years ago when it happened 4 years ago?
Is it in the exact same place?
There's one. I can name the exact spots. There was one above near the Sherman-Minton Bridge. There was one downtown near the campus. The Louisville one was on 64. There was another Louisville one just outside of Lexington as well. It's been going on. It's just all of a sudden been blown up this year for some reason.
It's great. I mean, it's a rivalry thing. He's talking about the rivalry. It shows it's still there.
There's been a lot of trash talk coming from you Cardinals. There's
been a lot of trash talk coming from Kentucky.
That's because we win. Well, we win. I don't know if anybody. If I haven't heard any UK fan talking trash for football.
Players have.
They're who? Is he gonna play?
I don't know. The cornerback said that he was.
I know you're talking about one of the Blaylocks.
Freshmen that mentioned different things.
He's not going to play this year. He's a Shane Bohannon just speaking young and dumb comments like the Celtics.
But Shane
Lakers.
Bohannon played.
Yeah, I'm just talking about comments, as in word to Lakers, Celtics game. That was dumb. But this football game's getting hyped up more every day, John. Another guy's jumping on the bandwagon here and there of this game. I hope it's a good game, just because. It's a rivalry. Obviously, I don't want to, Louisville is going to be the favorite, but I hope it's a great game.
It's going to be close in the beginning.
Do you want it to be, just be honest, do you want it to be a great game all game as long as Louisville wins? I want it to be like that as long as UK wins. I want it to come down to the final 3 minutes. Just, somebody's got to make a drive.
No, because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to
happen. You want the bowl out.
If Louisville's going to start their season with an almost win over Kentucky, it's not going to be
rivalry win.
As exciting as it's going to be.
Rivalry, you all haven't won your opening game, or what was that stat I saw?
But if you're going to change the program, you gotta win the first game, especially when you're playing, a subpar team.
Or 63 days away from that. We're in the last minute here, John. It's been a fun show. Thanks to Dan Wolken from KentuckySports.co and The Daily. Check his app out, thedaily.com. And Joe Menzer from NASCAR.com. Big Reds fan, so he's now one of our favorites. We're going to get him on more. Talk Reds. Why not? Next week, we'll have some great guests as always. I think there's something we already set up. Can't remember who it was. We'll let you know throughout the week on KentuckySports.co. Thanks for listening. Myself, Tyler Boyd, with John Hancock. We'll be back next Saturday. This is the Weekend Sports Buzz.
This is a special edition of the Kentucky Winner's Circle radio show. This special hour of coverage is presented by the Diesel USA Group.